You know, it's so interesting to see how history could have gone in a completely different direction with, without somebody coming up with an idea or saying, no, that's not right. In 1975, you hung up the trunks, wanted to get into the movies. Your counterpart, Lou Ferrigno, at that time, who was a very young man competing against you in the Olympia, as we saw in Pumping Iron, he would actually hang up the trunks as he went and becomes a Hulk. And again, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I've heard there was only 3 candidates up for the role of the Hulk. One was yourself, the second one was Lou Ferrigno, and the third one was Richard Kiel, I had heard, who would go on to be Jaws in the James Bond movies and others. Is that right?
No, it is totally incorrect.
Thanks for correcting.
But I mean, you're right. This is the rumor that goes around.
Yes.
But I mean, the reality of it is that I was good friends with the guy that was the head of television at Universal Studio, and he called me and he said, "This is Arnold. Can you help me? I know this is not a part that you want to do because there's no dialogue or anything like that, and I know in which direction you want to go with your acting career. But can you help me find some big guys, and can you send them over to my office?" So I sent over Lou Ferrigno, I sent over Dan Howard, which was a guy that used to train with me, a big guy, strong guy, and then some other guy we sent over. I forgot now who that was. And those 3 guys went over there, and he called me back that evening, and he said to me that, "Look, we love Lou Ferrigno. He's fantastic. He's really big. He has exactly the face that we can mold into kind of a Hulk thing with all the special makeup and the masks and all that stuff. And he's the size, he's enormous, and all this." He says, "So thank you very much. I think we're going to make a deal with Lou Ferrigno." So, I was never part of that mix because they knew that I would not be interested in that job. 2, I was very, very happy that Lou Ferrigno got it because Lou always had a little speech problem because of his hearing problem that he had early on in his life. And even though he did really well with the therapy and all this stuff, this was the ideal part for him. And he was shining, he did a great job. I always got great feedback from the studio about his performance and about his willingness to work hard and all that stuff. So we all were very happy that he did it. What was not a good idea was that Lou Ferrigno gave up competitive bodybuilding at that time and was kind of all over the place. He wanted to become a professional wrestler at one point, then he wanted to become a football player, and I don't know why he was confused because he had so much potential at that time. All he had to do is fill out that enormous frame. This, he's 6'5" or 6'6" tall, and is really gigantic. And so he just had to get the big pectoral muscle, the thicker back, and just thicken everything out a little bit, which takes sometimes with a big guy 2-3 years. But so 1975 he was in great shape. He just needed to be a little bit more cut. 1976, 77, 78, all of this, he could have won. He could have won. And I don't know why he gave up and why he was confused. He even came to Ohio and became a sheet metal worker or something like that. So, I mean, it was really odd. And I think that he was so dominated by his father that he never really knew at that time who he really was or what he wanted to do in life. He was driven by his father. You got to be a champion. You got to be a champion. And maybe then it backfired and he wanted to be a rebel and say, "I'm not going to continue on what my father wants me to do. I'm going to go and find what I want to do." So there could be, I don't know, I'm not a shrink or anything like that, but I'm just saying it was sad in a way that I did not see him reach his full potential because Lou could have been the Mr. Olympia for 10 years in a row. I mean, he was just so gigantic and he was so strong and he had such beautiful proportions and everything like that, that he just never really reached his potential.